If you did not watch my How to Make Money Watching UFC 324 video from a couple of days ago, I feel bad for you. What a way to start the year. 9-2 on full card predictions, underdog of the week hit, lock of the week hit, prop of the week hit, in flying colours, no stress at all. In a card that was very, questionable on underdogs, there wasn't really any underdog that stood out to the fans a lot, nor me, nor myself, but some people were high on Gaethje, but more were high on Paddy, especially at this stage in Gaethje's career. But man, did we smash it. Underdog of the week in Nikita Krylov hit in flying colours. We also picked him to win by knockout. Those odds were juiced. Umar Nurmagomedov by decision. Umar was our lock of the week, easy money. And then our prop of the week, Sean O'Malley by decision. Got a little bit close at times, but smashed that also. 3 for 3 on our, the main things that we give out on this channel. And then on top of that, we were 9-2 on our full card prediction. So what a way to start the year. And we're just going to talk about those three in particular and some of the other significant fights on the card. But starting with our underdog of the week, I said this in the full card breakdown. This was a hard week to pick an underdog. There are a couple, but it was really close. There wasn't like that one underdog that really stands out to a lot of people in the MMA community, nor myself. But Nikita Krylov came down to be the most logical selection out of the underdogs. I was looking at Perez. He ended up getting it done. I was looking at Michael Johnson. That fight got cancelled. And I was looking at Nikita Krylov, but you know what I mean? I felt like it was more logical to pick Krylov, who's only 33, rather than a 39-year-old Johnson who's fighting a guy with a lot of power in his hands in Hernandez, who's got the momentum. And then Perez, I couldn't really trust. I didn't think Perez was honestly going to get it done with the hands. I thought if he was going to get it done, it would have been a decision where he gets a couple of takedowns or the calf kick come into effect, but I wasn't expecting Perez to really get that type of finish. We'll talk about that later, but the main thing here, Nikita Krylov started off as our underdog of the week, 1-1 so far. We're going to keep a tally going, but I predicted him to win by knockout, and I predicted him to win by knockout in the first round. It did come a little bit later. Alternatively, the reason why, Modestas is just he's so repetitive with the same approach, the same movement, the same feints, the same shot selection. He's constantly throwing that 3-2 or the 2-3. There's nothing else other than that. It's not like he's jabbing to the body and coming upstairs with the right hand. It's not like he's feigning. Throws very little calf kicks. He needs to become more versatile in his approach if he's going to grow and, enter the rankings. And I saw that in the tape study, and that's the reason why I was picking Nikita. On top of that, Nikita has really good experience against top guys, a 29-28 decision with Magomed Ankalaev, a split decision with Glover. These are two former champions, and to jump up from Modestas to Bukauskas to jump up from facing Paul Craig to Nikita Krylov, who's really established himself in the top 10, top 15 of the light heavyweight division. It's a big jump up in competition, and that's not, I say that a lot on the channel, that's a big thing. To go from fighting someone like Paul Craig to Krylov, especially when the fight's predominantly on the feet, it's a big what if. So Krylov was the most logical pick here. I understood people picking Modestas. I completely understand that with the decline of Krylov as of late. His chin, he's been knocked out twice in a row. But I just saw here Nikita's savvy enough on the feet. He's a bit well rounded. I expected him to hold him against the cage a bit. Implement the takedowns and allow, make Modestas more hesitant on the feet because of the takedown threat, which I believe is what he did. Krylov was up 2 rounds, and then 3 seconds left to go. Lands that beautiful right hand and some ground and pound shots and gets the job done. So it was a great performance by Krylov, shown that he can really still compete in the top 15 and the upper echelon of the light heavyweight division, and just really happy to start off the year with an underdog of the week that slammed in flying colours. So we'll move on to our lock of the week, which is Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, this was a no-brainer. A lot of people, their lock of the weeks were Ataber Gutierrez, People were picking Ataber more confidently than Umar, but one thing I said that really, proved my point was it's it's more, the risk for reward factor here. It's more risky to pick someone like a Tabor who hasn't really been tested yet. We haven't seen him in deep waters. You know what I mean? We haven't seen him off his back, etc. There's a lot of what ifs with a Tabor. But, with Umar, you've got it all. You've seen him go 5 rounds. You've seen him off his back. You've seen him on top. You've seen his striking. You've seen against more stylistic matchups. So it was the more logical selection for our lock of the week. And boy, did he dominate Figgy. I said this in the build-up. Figgy's just a complete nothing burger now. He's super hesitant on the feet. He's very overrated. I mean, I'll always remember back when a lot of people were picking Figgy to beat Petr Yan, and that was just absolutely stupid. But Umar Nurmagomedov, I mean, if we're going to talk about the fight as a whole, it was absolutely boring. Like, I completely lost focus. I was just daydreaming during the fight. Apart from round 2 where Figgy kind of had a little moment where he was like scuffing a couple right hands and went for it a little bit, but not really. Other than that, he completely sucked balls. And Umar, as I predicted, people were thinking he was going to get a finish. I wouldn't have been surprised, but I did predict a decision. I mean, at the end of the day, these Russians, the Nurmagomedov guys, they'll do anything to win. You know what I mean? Even with the bonus now, you get an extra 25 Gs. If you get in the finish, they're still not pushing for it. So I feel like if he really put on the gas tank, he could have got Davison out of there. But yeah, it is what it is. This is the reason why it was my lock of the week, because I know he's just going to try and get the job done with the win. He's not going to take any risks. And Umar Nurmagomedov, 1-1 to start with our lock of the weeks this year. And our prop of the week. And if you are new, the prop of the week that we give out has to be plus money. So we're not like these other channels who are giving out, props like Natalia Silva, Rose Namajunas fight to go the distance. Everyone knows that's going to happen. Our prop of the week was Sean O'Malley to win by decision. And honestly, I'm not gonna go out here and say Song won round 1 yet, and he won the fight, because I will rewatch round 1. But watching that live, I thought Yudong won round 1. I thought, and this is why I'm telling you guys, I'm completely unbiased. Like, O'Malley was my prop of the week. Of course, I want that to hit, but round 1 I felt was very, very even, and not a whole lot going on. Landing similar numbers on strikes, similar significance. Yudong more on the front foot, and then to get a takedown towards the end of the round, land some ground and pound shots, not massive ones, predominantly to the body, and control O'Malley for at least 30 seconds, and then on top of that, end the round on top. I felt like that was more significant than what O'Malley did on the feet, and especially with what O'Malley did on the feet was so similar to what Yudong did on the feet as well. So I felt that edged him the round. And then round 2 obviously was a Song Yudong round, and then round 3 was a clear O'Malley round. So I thought Song won 29-28 watching it live. I have to watch back round 1, but it was a close round nonetheless, but we hit it. I mean, I was very confident in O'Malley. The reasoning for the selection of O'Malley by decision was I was very confident in Yudong's durability. He's never been dropped. He's never been knocked out. And very, very confident in Yudong. I think Yudong's extremely underrated. I mean, if you look at this, it's a 29-28 to O'Malley that could have gone either way, realistically. Round 1 is as close as it can get. And 29-28 with Petr Yan, who's the current champion. He was up on the scorecards against Corey Sandhagen, and then the doctor stoppage happened. I mean, I feel like now we're really going to start to see Song Yudong enter his prime. We're going to see him. He's got the experience against high-level champions now, and I feel like now he's really going to put together a win streak. Maybe we're going to see him on that China card or the Shanghai card in August against like a Sandhagen rematch or an Ayman Zahabi. Or maybe a Batista coming off of a win, but I feel like now he's got the experience against a lot of, different stylistic matchups. And I mean, a close fight with Yan, 29-28, a close fight with O'Malley that could have gone his way. I think Yudong's a really good boxer. He's got good cardio. He's durable. He's got all that it can take to challenge for the title in this division. So I expect, and he's only 28. He's not 33, 34. He's 28 years of age. 28 years young. So, very high on Yudong, but it was a good fight nonetheless. Not like a crazy war, but it was a good, skillful, technical fight. So, yeah. Now, where is Derek? I said this in the breakdown, and I don't know why people were picking fucking Derek Lewis. I told you guys, Derek Lewis is a quitter. He's a fucking quitter. I told you guys this. He's the biggest quitter in UFC history. He gets... And before you got, like, when he went down in round 2 to where, you know, Waldo ended up following up with the ground and pound. When he went down, that wasn't a knockdown, guys, okay? Don't think Derek got hurt or that was, like, you know, weird power. No. He got slightly grazed with a jab of Waldo, and he went down. He slipped anyway. He was on the way back foot, on the way down. Waldo just kind of, like, grazed the jab on his chin. That didn't hurt him at all. Don't think that hurt him. Don't think he got dropped. Don't think he got wobbled. It says it's a knockdown. He was slipping off balance anyway, and he grazed the shot. You know what I mean? That's not enough to knock down Derek Lewis. And you could see it was completely fine. This is exactly where the point I was making in the breakdown was Derek Lewis sits there, and when, you know, 5 minutes go by and all these overhand rights are out the window and he's tired and he's gassy, he can't seem to find that shot. He gets mentally frustrated. He did it against Gane. He almost did it against Volkov. He's done it against a lot of guys, especially early on in his career. And then he just sits there and allows Waldo to just land shots. And I don't know about you guys, I think he faked going out at the end. You know what I mean? He's looking for a way out. He knows he's going to get some decent money anyway. He's been in the UFC for a long time. They're paying him good. And, he's getting hit by very short shots. Waldo's not, cranking his arm back, and they're not really big ground and pound shots. They're little, rabbit punches. And a lot of them were hitting Derek's arm at the beginning. And Derek's, pretty much pretending to go limp at the end. I mean, he's an absolute fucking idiot. I can't stand the guy. He quit. I can't believe people were, confident in Derek. People were picking him as an underdog. How could you? He's an absolute blob who only knows how to throw a switching side kick and a right hand that'll land 1 in every 4 fights. He's an absolute idiot. He's a quitter, and he's an embarrassment to the UFC. He should never be on a main card again, quitting like that and giving up. So yeah, credit to Waldo. Picked him to win by round 2 knockout as well. Slammed the fuck out of that. That was the easiest money of the whole card. I mean, I didn't give that out as a prop of the week because it wasn't plus money. It was just under. But I did have a bet placed on Waldo by round 2 or round 3 TKO, and easy fucking money was that. Moving on to the main event, Gaethje and Paddy. Now, I did pick Paddy. To win. And if you watch back my breakdown, I said Gaethje should win this fight. I'm not one of those guys that are going to fucking sit here and like, I said this, I said that. No. I picked Paddy. I was wrong on the pick, absolutely, but I said Gaethje should win the fight. But the reason why I'm not picking him is because I don't trust in him to do what he's meant to do. And he still didn't really do it. I mean, dipping his head off to the right side constantly. I mean, I'm surprised Paddy didn't really pick up on throwing that switch knee and countering that type of movement of Gaethje. Gaethje wasn't throwing the calf kicks. There were so many times where Paddy was just standing flat-footed, completely stationary, not moving, like literally like a lamppost, like a statue, heavy on that front leg, and Gaethje just wouldn't kick him. I didn't understand it. Like, I felt like if he was to begin to do that in round 2, by round 3, he would have got a calf kick TKO. You know what I mean? Could have made the fight so much more easier for himself, but he didn't do it. And he brawled a little bit. He made some bad decisions, but alternatively, he did get the job done. Round 5 was close round. I believe it was round 3 that Paddy won. Round 1, I honestly thought Gaethje was going to TKO him in round 1 when he went down, and kind of looked like Paddy was going out, but then he got into that sprawled out position and was able to recover. But I mean, this fight just before we get into that, but it was just, I couldn't trust in Gaethje, the declining, older, damaged Gaethje, coming off of a shitty win against a Fiziev on short notice, and that was a 29-28, knocked out by Holloway. I just trust in the bigger, younger, healthier Paddy to go out there and get the takedowns. And I mean, this is something we're going to have to look at in the future while predicting Paddy fights. I mean, his fight IQ looked absolutely terrible. I mean, it says he shot 5 takedown attempts. I don't think he did. Barely trying to initiate the grappling, trading in the pocket, leaving his chin wide up in the air, hands low. It's just rookie shit. And Ilya should be the biggest favourite in UFC history when he fights Gaethje next. Even if he was to fight Paddy next, he should be the biggest favourite in UFC history. From what Umar was against Figgy, it should be 2 times that for Ilia Gaethje. Ilia will absolutely kill Justin Gaethje. He will absolutely murk him unconscious. You guys have no idea. It's not even to the point like, oh, anything can happen. No. The first right hand that Ilia throws, the speed, the power, the technique, the timing that he has, he's putting Gaethje out. He is putting Gaethje out, and Gaethje took a decent amount of fucking damage in this fight also, so I expect his chin to be even more worn, and he's going to be even more older by the time the Ilia fight comes around. I mean, Paddy's landed 83 significant shots to the head of Gaethje. It did seem to be hurt by Paddy's jabs at a couple of times. Bro, Ilia is smoking Gaethje. As soon as he goes for it, round 1, round 2, there's no way Ilia Gaethje goes to round 3. It's round 1 or round 2. I'd probably say round 1, just because there's no threat of it, getting into the clinch or really going to the ground and stalling it. Within 4 minutes, there's no way Ilia doesn't TKO him. But this is the type of fight that makes Paddy that type of Poirier, Chandler, Gaethje type level fighter, if you guys know what I mean, in the sense of stardom, recognition, and entertainment factor. Because if Paddy was to go out there and in round 1 when he got knocked down, if he was to get finished in that moment, it would have been pretty bad. It would have been like, it's too early. Now he's going to go back and fight, like a Moicano or Ortega coming off of a win, someone down there. But I feel like that, even though he lost, it's still in some ways a win, in the sense now he's like one of those home-stayed, like top 5, top 6 guys in the lightweight division that are really going to put on for the fans. That's the type of fight that, really solidifies you as one of those like entertaining guys. And Paddy wasn't really known as one of those really entertaining guys, but now, he's going to be able to, that fight there with Gaethje, it's going to be able to get him fights with like a Max Holloway or an Oliveira in the future, and be known as, Gaethje's a guy, Paddy's a guy that, has a chin, he's durable, he has heart, a lot of heart, and will take some shots to give one. And yeah, he's really solidified himself as one of the top lightweights. And in the sense of saying that, obviously, he's top 6, top 7 lightweight in the world as far as skill-wise, but entertainment factor is up there with, Gaethje now, obviously, and up there with Max Holloway, and you know what I mean? So, yeah, in some ways it is a win. He is only 31 years of age. He can come back, but there's no way he's beating guys like Arman and Ilia. Those two are going to rule the division. Arman is the only somewhat threat to Ilia, and I think Ilia absolutely smokes Arman anyways, but Arman is the only threat to Ilia Topuria, and them two are going to rule the division. I think Arman beats Max. I think Arman beats... he has beaten Charles, Gaethje, Paddy, everyone. It's just going to be Arman as number 1 and Ilia as the champ, and they're going to rule the division until they retire. So, yeah, broke down most of the card here. Like I said, what a way to start. 9-2 on full card predictions. Picked a lot of methods correct. Our underdog of the week hit in a week where a lot of people struggled with their underdog selections. Especially the underdog that I gave out was one of the easiest ones to predict. Perez was a good underdog in the sense he finished it in round 1. Gaethje was a bit of a brawl, and he did lose a round or two, but Krylov was up 2-0 and got the finish in the third. It was no stress at all. Very good to watch. Easy underdog of the week. Lock of the week was very easy. I was so confident in Umar. And then, obviously, our plus money prop of the week, Sean O'Malley by decision. So what a week that was. Guys, I'm telling you, stick around, subscribe, pay attention to the channel, put post noties on. I'm going to post a video probably, I don't think it would be today, I think it'll be in the next 48 hours on how to make money for UFC 325. And I said this in the breakdown last week. This week coming up, I'm more confident about my underdogs and my props and my picks than, 324 than what we just saw. So, if this is a low confidence card for me, and I'm going 3 for 3 on, the betting picks that I'm giving out, we're making fucking over $1,200. It was a great card for myself, and hopefully you guys tailed along, and hopefully you guys tail along in the next one. We've got some good picks coming out, some good props, and stay tuned for that.